A grandmother playing dress-up, a sister preparing to say goodbye, and a family finally settling into their dream home should have been straightforward feel-good updates. Instead, each post sparked a conversation that went far beyond the photos themselves. Kelly Jo found herself at the center of an unexpected discussion after a birthday celebration revealed a side of her many longtime followers never expected to see. Katie's latest family gathering left people focusing less on the party and more on what it might reveal about her closest relationships. Meanwhile, Carlin's home reveal generated plenty of admiration, but also raised questions about whether a perfectly designed space always feels personal. Before long, 3 ordinary family moments had evolved into 3 very different debates about change, belonging, and identity. The first conversation began with what was supposed to be a celebration of Hazel. Kelly Jo shared a heartfelt birthday tribute filled with family photos, sweet memories, and the kind of thoughtful reflections that have become one of her trademarks over the years. Anyone who has followed the Bates family for a long time knows that Kelly rarely posts a simple happy birthday message. Instead, she tends to turn birthdays into personal tributes, often reflecting on a child's character, the meaning behind their name, and the hopes she has for their future. This post followed that familiar formula, but it wasn't the caption that captured most people's attention. It was a single photo. Among the collection of birthday pictures was an image showing Kelly Jo dressed as Snow White while celebrating with Hazel. On paper, it was a harmless and even adorable moment. A grandmother embracing the theme of her granddaughter's princess party is hardly unusual, yet the reaction that followed revealed just how much public perception can shape the way people view even the simplest family photo. What fascinated many people wasn't the costume itself, it was the fact that Kelly was wearing it. For years, the Bates family has carried a public image rooted in conservative values and traditions. Because of that history, several people admitted they never expected to see Kelly Jo enthusiastically dressed as a Disney princess. Some found the image surprisingly charming, arguing that it showed a playful side of Kelly that often gets overlooked. Others focused on how different this version of Kelly feels compared to the woman viewers first met years ago. The discussion gradually shifted away from Hazel's birthday and toward Kelly herself. People weren't really debating Disney or costumes. They were talking about change. Some saw the Snow White outfit as a reflection of a grandmother who seems increasingly relaxed and comfortable, embracing whatever brings joy to her grandchildren. Others simply found it fascinating how much public perception of Kelly has evolved over time. In many ways, the photo became less about the party and more about the woman standing beside Hazel in it. While Kelly's post inspired a conversation about change, Katie's latest update sparked a conversation about relationships. As she prepares for a major move and the beginning of a new chapter, Katie shared photos from a small going-away gathering organized by Carlin and Josie. The event itself looked warm, thoughtful, and deeply personal. There were decorations, gifts, smiling faces, and all the signs of a family wanting to make someone feel loved before a significant transition. Katie described the gesture as sweet, and the photos reflected exactly that. Yet, as often happens within the Bates community, the discussion quickly moved beyond what was visible in the pictures. Instead of focusing on the party itself, many people became interested in the people who were there. Carlin and Josie were prominently featured throughout the photos, and before long, the conversation expanded into a broader discussion about Katie's current relationships within the family. Because Katie has previously acknowledged feeling distant from large portions of her extended family, many observers immediately viewed the gathering through that lens. The result was a conversation that wasn't really about a farewell party at all. It became a discussion about support systems. For some people, the photos reinforced the idea that Katie's closest circle may be smaller than many once assumed. Others argued that social media snapshots can never tell the full story of a family's relationships. But regardless of where people stood, the images clearly sparked curiosity about who remains closest to Katie during this period of transition. The move itself added another layer to the discussion. Relocating is always significant, but many people viewed this move through the context of everything Katie and Travis have experienced over the past year. Questions about healing, rebuilding, fresh starts, and future opportunities all found their way into the conversation. Some felt the move could provide space for growth and a chance to establish a stronger sense of independence. Others worried about what it might mean to leave behind familiar support systems during such an important stage of life. What made the reaction particularly interesting was how much meaning people attached to a relatively simple event. The photos showed a gathering. The discussion that followed became a conversation about friendship, family dynamics, and what the future might hold. In that sense, the farewell party became symbolic of something much larger than the celebration itself. Then there was Carlin. Unlike the previous discussions, this one wasn't sparked by a birthday or a life transition. It began with a house. After months of anticipation, decorating, and renovation updates, Carlin finally shared a closer look at the finished result of what she proudly described as her dream home. The photos showcased carefully designed spaces, dramatic lighting, custom details, and a polished aesthetic that immediately caught people's attention. Unsurprisingly, many followers loved what they saw. Compliments poured in from people who admired the sophistication of the design and appreciated the amount of work that clearly went into creating the space. But as the conversation continued, a more interesting question began to emerge. Very few people argued that the house wasn't beautiful. In fact, even many of the critics acknowledged that the design was impressive. The real debate centered on whether beauty and personality are always the same thing. Some viewers looked at the home and saw elegance, intention, and a family finally enjoying the rewards of years of hard work. Others looked at the exact same rooms and felt something was missing. The words varied, but the sentiment was often similar. The house felt polished. It felt luxurious. It felt professionally designed. But did it feel like Carlin and Evan? That question quickly became the center of the conversation. For some people, the home resembled a magazine feature or a carefully curated Pinterest board. Others argued that a family home doesn't need to be filled with bright colors and visible clutter to feel authentic. What followed was less a discussion about furniture and more a discussion about identity. How much should a home reflect the personalities of the people living there? Can a space be both highly curated and deeply personal? And at what point does beautiful begin to feel staged? The debate became especially noticeable when people discussed the children's spaces. Several viewers expected rooms that reflected more of Layla's colorful and energetic personality, while others felt the neutral aesthetic created a timeless look that would grow with the children over time. Once again, the disagreement wasn't really about design quality. It was about interpretation. And that may be what ultimately connects all three of these stories. Kelly Jo's birthday post became a conversation about how people perceive her today compared to the past. Katie's farewell gathering became a conversation about belonging and support. Carlin's dream home became a conversation about authenticity and self-expression. None of those discussions were actually the purpose of the original posts, yet each one evolved into something larger because people naturally searched for deeper meaning behind the images being shared. Perhaps that's one of the most fascinating realities of following a family that has spent so much of its life in the public eye. A princess costume can become a discussion about personal evolution. A goodbye party can become a discussion about relationships. A home makeover can become a discussion about identity. The original moment lasts only seconds on a screen, but the conversations it inspires often reveal just as much about the audience as they do about the family being discussed. What do you think? Which of these conversations surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Bates family updates, discussions, and entertainment news.